Well, take a
Where
look.
are you?
You see,
Where?
I'm in
Yeah,
parts unknown, as they say, if you remember those old sayings.
I do. And you're obviously in your rig.
I like
Where are
that,
you
my
going?
rig.
Yeah.
So
Well,
are you a James Taylor fan? See, it's funny, we don't mention James Taylor a lot in the things that we do.
you know what? We should mention him more. Sweet Baby James is,
Sure.
I think, like, and I know you have a sensitive side. I'm very sensitive to a fault.
Very.
So,
So there was a song, I believe it was off, JT. I'm apologizing if I'm wrong, but
You got a
here's
friend.
the lyric. You ready?
Yeah.
Damn this traffic jam, how I hate to be late. Hurts my motor to go so slow. By the time I get home, my supper will be cold. And I thought I'd be home in time, but believe it or not, I got stuck in a traffic jam, so I pulled over to do this. So there you go.
Well, I mean, and I hope your supper's not cold when you get home. And
Who calls it supper, by the way?
Who eats supper? I was going to ask you that. I don't eat supper. Actually, you know what? I had supper growing up, and I wonder if that's like a European thing. Do you have supper in Europe? It seems like it seems like that would fall also, though. I mean, I don't have a lot of British royalty in my background, but it seems like almost like that there's a whole series of British terms that we talk about. You take the lift, you live in your flat, you have your schedule, but
Sure.
we won't do that. We won't do that right now.
The underground. I mean, the whole thing. I mean,
the underground.
Who saying? Look, the Who
Yeah.
incorporated a lot of British, verbiage into their songs. Anyway.
Well, I mean, as they should have. I mean, one of the great British bands of all time, and so you're going mobile, obviously. Let me think. What else did they must have had other cars? I mean, other songs about cars. Obviously,
of course, the great Gary Newman. I know you know that.
Gary Newman, Cars with that. That's N-U-M-A-N.
Sure.
To you. Then there's of course the Cars, who wrote that great song called Drive, which actually isn't that great of a song.
No, it's a great song. It's the only song by the Cars that went number one, and Rick Ocasek didn't sing it. Who sang that song?
Hold on, the guy who passed away.
Sure.
And
long first name, short last name. Boston Bruin legend.
Orr, Benjamin Orr. Damn it, you're good, dude. I love how you get me through that, man. Again, your match game skills are extraordinary. By the way, the Bruins need to keep losing, and they may just do that if they play. Although they beat the Islanders last night, but the Rangers need the Bruins to lose. Other great driving related tunes include Roadhouse Blues is kind of keep your eyes on the road, your hands upon the wheel. Let's see, Drive. All kinds of driving me crazy songs. By the way, this day in history, speaking of songs that could drive you crazy, David Soul hits number one on the charts, I think in '75, with "Don't Give Up on Us, Baby,"
which is a great song. It's right up there with Eddie Murphy. I mean, it's fantastic. I mean, David Soul just killed it. And that sweater with the big collar. I mean, he was just getting it done.
What was with the big sweaters? Although I thought Paul Michael Glazier, that's right, Starsky, or was he Hutch? Which one was he?
See, that's the thing. It's like Hall & Oates. It's the same thing. You always,
I mean, Hall & Oates.
Daryl Hall is the blonde-haired guy, only from Hall's Garage.
No, Hall & Oates is easy, dude. But Starsky and Hutch isn't easy. And I got to tell you, Crockett and Tubbs isn't easy for me. Other great examples, not necessarily great songs, of TV folk who scored number ones. This is actually pretty good one. So think about your boy. This is actually kind of obvious when you cut below it, but when I say Arnold Horseshack, what do you know?
Sure. I think of John Sebastian. I mean, I think of Welcome Back.
Welcome Back. Although that's not really where I was going. I was going with one Vinnie Barbarino. Of course, not singing the song as Vinnie Barbarino, but actually as Danny Zuko in "You're the One That I Love." So that was a number one song. But I mean, he's a TV star who made it number one.
There you go. I like what you did there. I went the John Sebastian route, and I think we talked about the Yardbirds the other day. I think was
Love and Spoonful. Loving Spoonful.
Spoonful. Nice job by you.
Yeah.
And I
so-
think the Loving Spoonful, if I'm not mistaken, I think they played at Woodstock. Now, don't at me if I'm wrong. I'm just
No,
throwing
I
it
think
out
that's
there.
right. Well, by the way, I got the shit kicked out of me about my Jeff Beck in Cream. Which I respect our audience for taking me to
No,
task on that.
they gotta come at us.
So Loving Spoonful, we're definitely in Woodstock. Yeah, I mean, look, who wasn't at Woodstock, man? I mean, for all I know, you were at Woodstock.
I might have been.
Would you have been at Woodstock? And what would you have driven? Speaking of cars, if you were going to Woodstock and you were around in '69 to head up there to Max Yasgur's farm,
Sure.
What would you be driving? Do you think at that time?
I would imagine
Chevelle?
it would have been
Chevelle?
like, a Corsair or something. I would have longed to have a Chevelle, but
Yeah. My brother,
you know-
my brother had a Dodge Dart. He had
Sure.
when he was in college, and it wasn't it was like a '74 Dodge Dart. This thing was a tank. And I remember taking actually no, he had two different cars that were tanks. He had the Dodge Dart, which we used to just fill up with pellets from our BB guns from inside the house.
of course you did.
But in Scarsdale, of course, the mean streets of Scarsdale, where we all packed heat.
But
and-
the difference there is you had somebody shoot the guns for you in Scarsdale. Right?
Good one. He had a Plymouth Volare,
Of course you did.
which I drove home one ill-fated night from Rosie McCann's on the eve before Thanksgiving, which is really one of the great
Wednesday
party
night,
nights.
the Wednesday night before the
Yeah.
big night.
And I ran into a telephone pole, and the Volare was unscathed. I was unscathed because the thing was such a tank. I cracked the pole in half, but I
want
walked
to
away.
say, before we get out of here, I want to say the guy from Fantasy Island was the hump man or the pitch man for the Volare.
Tattoo.
No, not Tattoo. The
Hervé?
tall dude with the white Hervé,
Ricardo.
not
Ricardo.
Hervé Filion.
Well, he
Ricardo
was-
Montalban.
Ricardo
yes.
Montalban. He wasn't tall. He was just taller than Tattoo. So can we talk quickly just on our way out of here? Would you say that this market's finishing tall after a week where you had incredible retail sales numbers? You had strong numbers on the global macro front. You had jobless claims that were constructive. Markets go to fresh all-time highs. Does this make you feel any different about the market we're in?
I'm gonna tell you what this is: the Buford T. Pusser market. You know what
Love that.
is? Walking tall, baby. Walking tall.
Walking tall. All right. Well, look, man, you drive tall. All right. And again, sit up there, keep your eyes on the road and your hands upon the wheel, guy. Have a great weekend.
See you later.